Let's do this. Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore. Sorry for the delay, everybody. I got a kid with a fever. Got to put him to bed, and he woke back up as the countdown starts. You know how it happens. Dad duty. But all is good now, and I'm so glad to have so many of you here in the chat. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. We're going to have a lot of fun. There's a lot of cool stories I want to break down with all of you. And this Scarlett Johansson one is just getting wild. There's so much to unpack about this and talk about Disney versus Scarlett Johansson. It feels like they're really going to war. Plus, David Ayer is fed up. He's talking about his Suicide Squad cut against the studio. And then there's a Waterworld series coming. Oh, my God. That actually sounds awesome. And so much more, plus your comments, your questions. And I got to tease it. Britney's gone naked again with video on Instagram. You know we're going to talk about our latest Instagram post near the end, but I'll save that for the end of the show because I've been covering a lot of Britney. I know a lot of you want me to talk movies for a little bit. So here we are. We're going to talk movies, and I'm so happy to be talking movies tonight with my man. Don is here. What's up, Adontron?
What's up? How's it going?
It's going good. I'm happy to be here. Sorry, I hate when I'm late, but sometimes it happens, but I'm ready to do this. I'm ready for you to be here, and we got a lot of fun topics to talk about. Everything going well with you?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Been a busy week, but I'm going to be refreshed.
Ooh, I should get a drink, too. We should all drink a drink to this, because tonight's some crazy topics. All right, have you seen this topic that we're talking about, this Scarlett Johansson topic? Are you in the loop? I know you've
I just watched your video while I was at the gym, so yes. This
is wild to me, guys, and I want to get your thoughts because now Disney has responded, and they're playing victim, guys. It's kind of amazing to me, and I want to get your thoughts because I'm curious where everyone who's watching is going to stand tonight on this because I saw some in the chat even before we got started, like, "Oh, poor girl making so much money." I want to break down what's happening here. And I want to get everyone's thoughts, Don included, on I think this is a way bigger story than a lot of people are understanding. Because I don't think this is just about Scarlett Johansson. This is about every actor, director, writer, editor, every union in the world is all getting sick of these streamers doing these big deals. Netflix has sort of been getting away with it on this outlier deal, and they've been paying pretty decently. But I think as that's now becoming the deal where for everybody, there's starting to be some more questions. And I think in this instance, Scarlett Johansson has every right to fight Disney on this. And Disney clearly is going to try to fight back and be like, girl, we don't owe you anything. But the reality is here, there's some serious Hollywood drama going. And Disney is trying to basically, I think, put up a line here where it's like, no. All you actors out there, you think you're going to come after us about this, you're going to lose. So don't even think about it. Don't even come thinking about it, trying to ask for more money, et cetera, et cetera. So and I see the hashtags already for hashtag pay ScarJo. Let's break down the story again. For those of you who are new, who just tuned in tonight, thanks to everybody who's tuning in. Here's the story and sort of how it started. So this was it broke on the Wall Street Journal this morning. For those of you who caught that video, the basic gist, if you missed it, was that her lawyers are accusing Disney of breaching contract. And they basically go on to say that they were always in talks with Disney, and they were always that her deal was always supposed to be a theatrical release. Her salary was based in large part on the box office performance of the film. Disney intentionally induced Marvel's breach of the agreement without justification in order to prevent Ms. Johansson from realizing the full benefit of her bargain with Marvel, the suit said. Disney didn't comment then, but they did. We'll get to Disney's comments in a second. And so this will surely not be the last case where Hollywood talent stands up to Disney and makes it clear that whatever the company may pretend, it has a legal obligation to honor its contracts, Johansson's attorney says. Now, it's telling because why would Scarlett Johansson do this? You know, lawyers will go fight anything. But I have trouble believing Scarlett Johansson would have done this if they're not telling the truth. If the contract doesn't have a pretty clear, like, look, this is what I was supposed to make, and you guys didn't meet the agreement. Now, Disney's going to come back, and their response is going to reveal, well, you made all this money, but that's besides the point. That it's distractions, and they're trying to. We'll get to Disney's comments. Just made me. I was shocked. But anyway, let's continue at what sort of Scarlett's team has said. So, Warner Media chose to renegotiate many of its talent contracts which while we were all, we're marking on the fact that how crazy it was that Warner Media was suddenly releasing all these theater movies that were going to go straight to theaters, also on HBO Max. The talent have box office deals. So they had to pay Gal Gadot, Patty Jenkins, the director of Wonder Woman 84, and they paid apparently more than $200 million to all its talent to really make that deal work, where they could release all the films on HBO Max. And they did that at a time where it was very unclear if theaters were going to be open. And now theaters are open. Granted, there's other strains and things causing strain on the industry. I guess we could say it that way. But the reality is, theaters are open now, and they're, trying to get their business back. And so Scarlett Johansson obviously been a huge part of the Avengers for a long time. Her character is no longer going to be in this series, obviously, given what happened at the events of Endgame, spoiler alert. But this was her big payday. This was her, after a lot of time, Marvel had always been teasing, of course we treat our female superheroes the same. Of course we're giving her a feature-length film. And so they did. And now this happened, her 9th and last Marvel film. Apparently the decision to put the move on Disney Plus is projected to cost Miss Johansson more than $50 million, a person familiar with details of her contract claims. Even before the pandemic, Miss Johansson was concerned that Black Widow would end up on Disney Plus as part of its wide release. In 2019, her reps reached out to Marvel seeking assurance that they would have their theatrical release. In 2019 email included in the suit, Marvel counsel said the release would be according to the traditional theatrical model. We understand that should the plan change, we would need to discuss this with you and come to an understanding, as the deal is based on a series of very large box office bonuses. Now, that's interesting telling, because March 2019 was obviously before the pandemic, and Disney, you're right, you bet your ass is going to blame the pandemic for all of this, just like so many companies that are making rich, trying to use it as, we're taking hits. But then the movie made $80 million domestically, and they tried to put in the $60 million it made at home purchases as sort of like put it over the edge of like, see, we made over $100 million this weekend. Woo, woo, woo. It was totally BS. It was totally a way to spin the numbers in Disney's favors. And a lot of people bought it. If you have followed me here in Popcorn Planet, I told you the real skinny on that story, because I was like, there's no way this movie will have legs. This is not a hit. This is not anywhere near the film's actual budget, on top of the multiple marketing efforts they had to do. So that a lot of people were buying the Disney tricksters. No, at the end of the day, the movie has fallen tremendously each week because there's no replay value. You know what I mean, Don? Like, Marvel fans go buy tickets to see these movies 3-4 times. And, you can't do that if you just suddenly, I can just watch it at home for $30 and not have to go out. I can rewind and pause and zoom in if I want to, whatever. It makes no sense for them to put such a big movie that so many Marvel stans would want to go pay 5 times to see and then buy it again digitally and then buy it again on Blu-ray. It makes no sense. And the theater owners are with me. They are very disappointed in this, and they've been using Black Widow as proof that the theatrical releases need to be exclusive if they want to make profit. So that's basically the gist of what happened here. They made a deal with her, and they reneged on the deal, and she lost $50 million on the deal because they decided to do it the way they did it. So let's get to how Disney has responded. Disney strikes back over Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow lawsuit, reveals her $20 million payday. Ready, guys? Here we go. So here, a Disney spokesperson said, there is no merit whatsoever to this filing. The lawsuit, I want to zoom on this. The lawsuit is especially sad and distressing in its callous disregard for the horrific and prolonged global effects of the pandemic. Disney has fully complied with Ms. Johansson's contract, and furthermore, the release of Black Widow on Disney Plus with Premier Access has significantly enhanced her ability to earn additional compensation on top of the $20 million she received to date. So there you go. So they're going on the defense. They're playing victim here. And they have the gall to say, she completely, I can't believe they did this. How distressing and callous and sad of her to disregard this pandemic. Jesus Christ. I'm sorry. F you, Disney. You made a deal with talent. You don't get to renege on the deal. And if you're going to change the deal, then you got to pay her. And I can't believe they didn't just pay her another $20 million to shut her up, make her happy, and move on. It's so shocking to me, the amount of money here. At the end of the day, she probably lost 50, right? She's saying. I bet you if they'd paid her 20 and then paid her an additional 20, given the parameters, I bet you she would have said fine. They would have taken care of their Marvel star who got screwed. This was the first female lead, right? Like, you take care of her. She's part of the family, supposedly. And they're like, no, you got paid $20 million. Shut up. You don't get to know how much we really made. We're never going to tell you. And sorry, the deal didn't work the way you wanted to. How dare you not take this pandemic seriously, Scarlett Johansson? How callous of you, this horrific, prolonged pandemic. Dude, I'm so angry by this because there was no reason for Disney to put it on Premiere Plus. There was no reason for it. They chose to do that to plug and promote their service to try and get more subscribers. Now, I don't know what her deal is. We don't know. Maybe there is some more deal to it that she doesn't know, but it's clear that this contract and the way Scarlett's going about it, I believe it. She got back-end dollar amounts at the box office, and they didn't renegotiate her deal when they decided to go straight to streaming. And to me, that's a failure of the contract. Now, there may be some loophole in the contract that says, you know, Don, this happens all the time, where it's like acts of God and things can sort of overrule a contract in a way where they save themselves. So potentially that could be there. At the same time, this isn't like Scarlett's first movie. You know, this is the end of the line, sort of big payday that she got. And so I'm sure her agents and lawyers were out there protecting her in that contract too. I'm just I'm shocked that they didn't figure this out before it went public. And I'm shocked that they used the pandemic and sort of are spinning it to play victim of like, come on, Scarlett. Don't you know the prolonged global effects that the horrific pandemic has caused for Disney? I'm sorry, Don, of all the things that have happened in the pandemic, Disney is the last company I feel any empathy for or sadness on their business model and how this pandemic has affected them. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't feel bad. There's a lot of their employees I feel for that they've cut and they haven't paid, sure, which they could have probably figured out ways to at least better take care of them if we're being honest here, right? But this to me is this is a callous effect by Disney to basically draw a line in the sand and say, F you, talent. No, you don't get to do this, and we're not paying any of you, so get the hell out of here. None of you are getting a deal, and we're not altering the deal. I saw someone do the Star Wars line, the Darth Vader line. I'm altering the deal. Pray I don't alter it further. That's really what it feels like here. They're really going the dark side and making it so clear, like, we don't care. No, we adjusted it, and you got to suck it up and deal with it. We paid you $20 million. Shut up. That's plenty of money for you, Scarlett. Why are you bitching? Because how much do you think Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, and Chris Hemsworth have made over the years working for these movies? You know what I mean?
Robert Downey Jr. killed it with just the last film alone, and that's probably one of the reasons why they didn't want to negotiate anymore. Honestly, because when you think about it, her rate, sorry I interjected there, but no, like her ratings, her contract. Granted, we don't see the nitty gritty of the contract. It was based on what we're seeing here, based on what the revenue was going to be from the movie theater sales. And what that was negotiated back in 2019 before the pandemic happened. And then pandemic happened. They tried to ride that out. And then what? Then they make the announcement they're going to change it and go for the streaming service, like we're all saying here. Then what then? The lawyers try to negotiate. They try to see if they can get in contact. They get no contact because they know they're going to lose. If you're based on a flat sum, that's one thing. If you're based on a percentage is based on what numbers you can pull in to back that up. It's a loophole.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's a huge loophole, and they used it because Disney is still going to get the credit for, well, we get the views. We get this, showing here. I don't know what's the contracts are like on Netflix for how the celebrities get paid for their movies, whether they get lump sum or they get like a certain percentage based on views.
They get a lump sum. They do get a lump sum.
Okay. So...
because they have to pay out the guilds and everything, and there's a lot of unions that are all very pissed about this.
Okay, so that's like the concept of you paying someone hourly versus you just pay them a solid price. And then if and you're getting the same job, and now if that person you pay a solid price, if they get that job done in like 2 hours versus you pay a person hourly and they take a month, you're paying a lot more.
Right.
It's just reversed here in the sense that they could have paid her a lump sum and be done, but Scarlo or Scarjo, whatever,
Scarlo.
I can't even say her name now.
Scarjo.
Scarjo. When before all this happened, she was playing the numbers. She was playing the numbers game. She's like, let's go for the percentage. The likelihood of a Disney Marvel film breaking 500,000, breaking 800,000, million. Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, to me, the big problem here is Disney, and as much as they're doing something smart here, but it was very shady what they did.
Agreed.
Because what they did here, if we step back from it, because I always try to do, everyone's like, Andy Signore, no, you got to look at it from a studio perspective, because that's what they do. They're all shady. These big, rich studios have to keep making money. They're not charities. It's business, not friendship, clearly. And they're proving that here by basically shitting on their lead female from from the Avengers team. It's crazy. But what they did here was interesting, because if you really think about what they did here, it seems to me that they didn't have faith in this movie. And the reason I'm saying that is because they didn't negotiate with her a big deal like Warner Brothers did with Wonder Woman 84, where they went out and said, hey, we're paying you extra. We know this is going to be a big deal for us. We're going to get a lot of streams. We want you to be on board. We want you to be excited about it. Hey, we're paying you. We're gonna make the bet on this. This is a good move. And as much as I've been frustrated with Warner Brothers, good on them for doing that. And then they screwed up by not doing that with all the other talent of all the movies that now they've done it with, right? They had to then go back and fix it and get everybody on board and pay them. I assume that's even like the James Gunns for Suicide Squad, the Denis Villeneuves for Dune. All these filmmakers and talent needed to be paid, I'm sure, to be like sort of like, hey, are we good? We're good? Thanks. And I had to pay over $200 million on all these talent to sort of say, this is what we're doing. Now, why didn't Disney do that, right? Because to me, I think they were playing it safe. They were like, look, if we make a ton of money, then we can just pay her. And if we don't have to pay her, because we can blame the fact that this movie didn't do well. And if we put it on Disney Plus, it's not going to do as well. So we won't have to pay her as much. And we'll make more money on Disney Plus because we don't have to pay all the revenue, yada, yada, yada. And we can sort of screw up with the numbers a bit. And so when you really think about it, like, it's super shady in my mind. And it just sort of shows that they were like playing both sides, because I don't think they were as confident. If they were as confident and they knew what they were going to make, they would have taken care of her, and they would have paid it to sort of be like, look, we're done. We want to get all these profits when they come in and not have to worry about it. And instead, they did this to sort of play both ways, it seems. And to me, it's just shady. Look, it's business, right? It's what studios do. But at the end of the day, especially to her, like, to do it to their female lead right now as the progressive Disney, it's such a bad look. It's such a bad look, and it just once again proves these sort of the blatant hypocrisy and just fraudulent, crazy phoniness of Hollywood and these studios. Look, I'll say it. I'm not a shill for Disney, but I love a good Disney movie. I love to go to Disneyland. Like, I go to the Disney store. I'm going to still buy Marvel shit. I'm not the type who's going to be like, F Disney, I'm boycotting Disney Plus. Hell no. I want to watch some of this shit. I want to watch the stuff we're going to talk about tonight. So I can't blame it, but it's frustrating, because what do you do? What do we do as fans? Because it's hard to feel sorry for someone, write it down, that makes $20 million. She did make, that's a lot of money. It's a lot of money, but it's a lot of money after a lot of work that she should have gotten rewarded for. You know what I mean? And to me, in this regard, I'm totally team Scarlett. And while it seems hard to like go support the millionaires and make more millions, she's right. I think she's right in this. And I think the reason she's right is because if they had just released it theatrically and it bombed and she didn't make her bonuses, well, what can she do at that point? They fulfilled the contract. They did what the deal was. And then they do a Disney Plus deal later. I mean, I still don't understand why they didn't do theatrical and then do the Disney Plus. All right, 1 month later. All right, it's still in theaters. Next month, you can get it early for $30. That way, everybody would have gone to the theaters a bunch of times. Multiple times, I think. They probably would have made at least another 50, 60 million, I think, easy at the theaters if they had done it that way. And then released it on Disney Premier Plus to get another $30. And then turn that off and say, all right, now it's free, 3 months later. I don't understand these windows. Like, why they refuse to do the windows.
I can guarantee that they probably would have done better if they just, like you said, put a month buffer in between. My brother, like I went to the theaters with you and we watched it. But my brother, I know he went at least twice, if not 3 times, to watch the movie.
To Black Widow?
And to Black Widow.
In theaters.
In theaters.
Huh.
Well, no. I lie. He watched it on stream. He paid for it and watched it on stream, but 2 or 3 times. But I know my brother. If it wasn't on stream, he would have went to the theaters.
Oh yeah, you're making my point. Exactly. He watched it several times because he bought it on streaming. Exactly my point. Had they not done that, they would have sold 4 extra tickets for a lot of these Marvel fans. I genuinely believe it. So they threw out all that money, and then instead they basically they didn't get any of it. So they a lot of fans went out and bought it, and they were like, I want to see it that weekend. But then I bet you a lot of them just bought the Disney premiere, and then they were done. So they got the $30, maybe an extra ticket. And then the purchase is over for all your Marvel fans. Instead of getting them to go 4 times and then paying again for the $30, which they would have done. That's what I don't understand why Disney or any of these studios, especially these big Marvel temples, it just blows my mind to not just own it. And then the other thing is like, well, then fine, if you thought it was going to be a loss, then just put it on Plus, pay her off, put it on Plus, and make it a big exclusive, and pay her knowing, look, this is worth it, and that way everyone would have been out of here. So, look. To me, this response means they're going to war. Like, this is not, because a lot of people are like, oh, this is not an issue. They're going to settle this. And they still could, I guess. They might at some point. But I think Scarlett Johansson is speaking on behalf of a lot of talent and filmmakers. And I bet you she's getting a lot of private phone calls and emails today saying, you go, girl. Because this is going to define how sort of the future of the industry works and how these deals are done. And, no, you don't get to just dump our movies on streaming and, get away with it. We need to get paid for what we're worth. Because those big $20 million paydays are hard. But, Avengers movies make billions of dollars, guys. Billions of dollars. Mm-hmm. And granted, maybe this movie won't make billions of dollars, but I bet you it'll do pretty damn well. So an extra $50 million on the scope of $1 billion, guys, it's nothing. And she's the star of this movie. You can't make the Black Widow movie without her. She's a producer on it. She's the star. She's earned it. I mean, this is shocking to me. I mean, it's not shocking to me because Disney's all about the money. They don't give a shit. Clearly, remember this. They don't give a shit about you or anybody. They care about the bottom line and the dollar, right? But, I mean, the optics of this look so terrible. So for them to then turn and blame her for saying, how dare you, how sad how sad and callous of you to not factor in the global effects of the pandemic.
Yeah, that's a pretty crappy response.
What a stretch.
That is. I'm surprised that a spokesperson would just flat out go like that.
Like, and Lewis is here too. I want to get your thoughts. But, sorry, Don, finish up what you were saying.
No. I mean, when I think of Disney, I don't think of someone like calling out people like that. They're going to try to ride that line because they always have that image that they need to appear as and look as. Hell, even if you go to the Disney amusement parks, like their workers, even like working like the restaurants to the rides and everything, they have a strict code of conduct of how they are supposed to act and behave in front of people.
Yep.
So seeing a response like that, which is accusatory, very almost aggressive, and that is surprising to me because I can see them being defensive, but riding that line. And here we're disregard for the horrific prolonged global effects and then calling them out like so blatantly like that. That is surprising.
Lewis is here. What's up, my man? Lewis, are you?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Have you been paying attention to this war between ScarJo and Disney? And are you surprised that Disney has the gall to now basically play victim and say, "How dare you not know we're through a pandemic right now, Scarlett?" What is your 2 cents on this?
Here's the deal. If the contract specifically said you get a cut of the theatrical release and it's not supposed to go out, to Disney Plus or something like that, then she needs to get paid regardless of what we think of her as far as like she has too much money or whatever. The contract is the contract. It needs to be honored. What's going to be interesting, though, is to see how much more work does she get after this? Will other studios be hesitant to hire her and stuff like that? The thing about the Bud Light and how theaters are closed and stuff, and how she wanted to put her movie in theaters. remember people were accusing Christopher Nolan of doing that.
Right.
So I don't know. And I was pro Nolan. I think he probably didn't know what the severity of it, or he wanted to get, the people back to getting paid for paying the bills and everything like that. But a lot of people crucified Christopher Nolan for trying to open his movie in theaters, said that the only reason he cares is because he is part of the industry. Well, Scarlett Johansson, same thing goes here. So I hope those people are mad at her as well.
Oh, I'm sure they're not.
Yeah, but no, the contract is the contract. That's where I'm going with. This was in the making a long time ago. I'm sure before the movie was released, this war was happening, starting up in the background, troops being ready, positioned. Oddly enough, I got an email yesterday, a press release that the Blu-ray's coming out. I forgot what date, but maybe that's when they were waiting for that to come out and then shoot this. But yeah, she deserves to get paid what the contract says.
That's another dumb thing. Who's going to buy the Blu-ray when they just bought it on streaming? And I don't know. It's crazy to me. They've completely destroyed the windowing. It's so smart. Theater, Blu-ray, sell some Blu-rays, and then have the exclusive home digitally after that. I don't get it. I just don't get it. Choose to either go straight to streaming or embrace the model, or you're not going to have the model. And I just don't believe they're going to be able to spend the kind of money they're spending on. I know there's a lot of people who are like annoyed at me for having this take because they're like, no, I like having it at home. I just want to watch it at home. And I understand some of the conveniences there, but guys, you're not thinking long term. The movie theaters is a good thing to keep. And
I like eating Cheetos and pizza, but eventually I'm going to get clogged arteries.
Yeah, well, I
it's like
the theater experience.
There's going to be a result.
The drive-through came back. Like people are buying VHS tapes again. Like you can't take away the movies. It's an experience that's just going to be iconic forever. And I just think they're all being so short-sighted right now. But now beyond that, they're losing money. I'm just shocked to watch. Like right now, guys, the other one at hand is the Jungle Cruise. Like I'm sure The Rock's in the same boat. Like The Rock gets a back-end deal, and now his film's going to get cannibalized by Premiere Plus numbers because, dude, what family's going to go spend $50 at the movie theater when they can just spend $30 at home, and then pause it when the kids are getting annoying and do it that way? It makes no sense to me. So
if they pay The Rock and they don't pay her, it's going to look bad, bro. It's going to look bad.
Right. Well, I don't see him coming forward and defending it, but that's the reality. People need to. I saw some comments asking, will they, and thank you, Trash Can Conductor, for the first Super Chat of the night.
I'd buy that for
I appreciate
$1.
you. Thank you for sending the Super Chat sticker. You guys know how to have the drill. If you, sorry, let me get a mod up there. Put one of my mods can, there you go. Will, thank you, got one. You can hit the Stream Elements link to support, ask your questions. I want to get your comments involved in the stream, so send it on over there. But I did see someone mentioning, will this affect her? Like, could this be like a John Boyega thing where they sort of people don't want to work with her? I don't know. I think this doesn't scream like Scarlett's being a diva. This screams like Scarlett's trying to get the bag, get her bag and get paid on a franchise that she did a lot of work on. I think it would be unfair to look at her as then being a diva in this scenario. This is agents, lawyers, and a lot of people saying, dude, we left $50 million on the table because you went to streaming. Dude, I should have had some say in this. What the hell? And I think she's totally right. Now, again, Lewis, you're right. It's all about the contracts. Now, if there's something in these contracts, I find it hard to believe they would have gone up against Disney, knowing what the legal and everything they're going to be up against, if there wasn't some clear stuff in the contracts that's on their side. So we shall see. It's also very telling of Disney to reveal her payday. Like they basically responded by trying to shame her and saying, well, you made $20 million, so get away. Because they know there's going to start a debate of, she made plenty of money, really? In the pandemic, Scarlett, you made $20 million on this movie, and now you're complaining that you didn't make $70 million or $50 million? Come on, dude. That's weak. And the fact that they did that to their talent just shows how shady and it really is kind of scary, the amount of power these studios are getting and how they're now treating their talent. It doesn't make me feel good. And I think a lot of people out there are just always, Marvel, Disney, we love you. This should give you a little bit of pause of just how sinister it really is. I mean, there's so many examples, but this is a pretty clear cut, like, dudes, you should be bummed. And I also am curious your take we got lots more topics, and I want to trim this for the sake of YouTube because this is an important one. But I really do feel like, and I've seen some other takes out there, that they're just trying to get the talent out. Like they're trying to get the expensive talent out and get the new younger talent in. and especially some no names talent they can lock in for several movies, Miss Marvel, etc., to try and like move into the next phase of Young Avengers and all the things that they're doing, TV shows, whatever. So it's interesting that core group. You know, we lost a lot of them. The only one left who's sort of out there seemingly doing movies here and there is Chris Hemsworth, who I think is just down to play around with Taika Waititi and just have fun as Thor. But it's interesting to see how if that do either of you think that's intentional? Do you think there is some shadiness of Disney just trying to push out the expensive talent and just try to break in and get fans excited about cheaper talent?
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, for one, if we look at like the history of the other talent that they had, that the longer they keep them, that's what more negotiating that they have to try to keep the raising up the bill every time they come in for a new project. And then, so of course, yeah, you're going to want to cycle them out. Plus, let's be honest, in comics, they do that all the time. They cycle out. You always have your roster that you have your original roster that you go to.
Yep.
But they always try and mix it up by like bringing in new talent, new characters, and cycle them out. And then they'll every now and then come back to the original roster. So it is a very comic book thing to see done. So I'm not surprised in that nature. I will just to give a shout out in the chat. Ryan Kramer, I believe, said it'd be interesting to see what they do on SNL this weekend for Weekend Update.
It's on hiatus till the fall, so we won't know. I'm sure Colin Jost is just there hearing all the gossip.
The bits.
He's her husband. Are they married now? I think. Anyway,
yeah,
that'd be so interesting.
They say he was,
but they're off till November, usually the fall. But yeah, look, this is gonna be interesting to see how this goes. I will definitely be staying updated, keeping you updated rather on this topic, because I do think it's gonna have some big ramifications. And I don't think Hollywood's gonna be mad at her. I think there's gonna be. I mean, studios are. The studios are gonna start look at this and be like, we got to be careful avoiding this, because I think the optics are bad. But I think other talent is gonna see this and be very careful with their contracts moving forward. So the talent need to the Rocks of the world, all you need, and Scarlett Joes, they need to unite against the studio. Be like, no, we're not dicking around with this shit anymore. Pay us what we're worth, guys. These movies don't work without them. Like, it's still, even though they're not as valuable as like it used to be, they're why we're going to see, because these The Rock, all these famous actors that have built these characters, they got to get their piece. And back in the day, they'd be getting paid handsomely, and they wouldn't even make as much money. Jim Carrey making $20 million on those movies, that weren't making $1 billion at the time. So this is crazy to see these studios trying to like just screw them over. Look, it's a lot of money, and it's hard to feel bad for them given the amount of money. I hear that, but a contract's a contract, and what's right is right. And in this industry of the movies we love, which is something I love the movies. I don't like when the studios are screwing over the talent just to make more rich guys more rich. You know what I mean? It's screwed up. We gotta put our feet down at some point. So I hope more people stand up and support her and put Disney's feet to the fire, and she gets her payday. And that's what they should have done. The fact that their response wasn't to just settle this is says a lot, guys. Says a lot about how sinister Disney is. All right, now I want to do some, before I clip this, I do want to do a quick announcement. We have a lot more to talk about tonight. David Ayer's fed up with Warner Brothers. We're going to talk about that. The way this channel, though, works is I just want to do a quick channel update for a lot of you who are watching, anybody who watches this on the replay. I'm trying to figure out how to rework this channel a bit, because I'm seeing a lot of success and a lot of new subscribers, guys. I don't know if you guys noticed, we celebrated 150,000 subscribers a couple weeks ago. We just blew past 160,000 subscribers. What? Got like 10,000. It took me like 2 years to get to 150 from the last thing, and now we already just zoomed into another 10,000. So all my viewers, members, everybody who's been supporting me, I'm so grateful to all of you. To all the new watchers, a lot of them coming in for my Britney Spears coverage and elsewhere, I'm so grateful to have you here. Look, this channel is a movie channel first and foremost, or at least it was, but it's always been more of a pop culture outrage channel. If you really scroll through what I'm talking about, it's all celebrity, topics. And when people people are getting outraged, I try to give you my insight on it, given my past and my experience in Hollywood. And so I want to lean more into that and just sort of focus this channel more on the pop culture outrage. Yeah, it's a little TMZ at times, but I'm trying to do TMZ with a conscience. I'm trying to do it so it's not so just full of rumors and crap and drama BS. No, like real headlines, real celebrity issues, real movie issues that we try to really give opinions on and try to, you know, make sense out of. So that's the kind of content I'm going to try and be focusing on a little bit, but I don't want to give up movies. So I'm hoping next week I will be this is sort of a test pilot version of what I want to do on Thursdays, which is going to be, and I'll be announcing a new show. I hope, if all goes well, fingers crossed, we'll be announcing a new format and a new show to this Thursday night stream, which will be more movie focused. So I just want you guys to stay tuned, get excited. There's a lot more coming. And I want to tease something else. My man, Brian, over at No System, he's an amazing designer. All my logos, my Popcorn Planet intro, this one that you see all the time, he made this for me. He's a friend, and as I was rebuilding and nobody wanted to watch my videos, they all thought I was a jerk. He was out there helping me for free, making these logos and everything for me. So I'm so grateful for him. My shirt, it's on my shirt everywhere. We're doing a little bit of a rebrand and stuff, but also he's helping me with a store. Yes, you can buy shirts down below, and I'm wearing one of them, but they are so cheap and crappy that I wanted to find a new place to actually get some quality merchandise, including the hat that you guys will be seeing soon. But I'm happy to give you a little sneak peek of a brand new store with some awesome designs from No System, from my man Brian. I'm going to have my own little storefront here with a lot of shirts here. This is just sort of a peek at phase one. Some really cool stuff coming. A lot of cool pins and what is this called? Neck gates, they call it. And shirts, some retro shirts, some other stuff I'm building to sort of really create more of a movie, VHS classic, you know, gossip sort of vibe to things that we're growing. So lots more coming. I'm going to get you the link next week. I hope to really properly debut that so you guys can finally get some shirts, especially if you're coming out to Vegas to meet us. We're doing a meetup in Vegas August 23rd through the 27th. And so much more exciting stuff coming. So I just wanted to give you guys a little proper update on things. I'm hoping next week we'll update that. My goal is to sort of do Tuesdays as sort of bringing in a guest, focus on some of the gossip stuff like the Britney Spears, doing more deep dives and investigation and sort of that stuff on Tuesdays with big sort of topical stuff. Thursdays focusing on the week in movies, because that way I'm not going to be posting as much of the movie content. Thursday nights, all my movie fans, hopefully you'll come back. Some of the Britney fans, everybody, we can all just sort of fun, geek out, nerd out, and walk and relate and talk about all the movie stories of the week. So I hope you guys will stay tuned, get excited. A lot more stuff's coming, and I will be doing more on Movie World and stuff. Stay tuned for that as well. But I wanted to get your thoughts. If anybody has thoughts or suggestions, dude, hit me up. Hit me up on social. Hit me up in the comments. Send over a chat. I want to keep you guys engaged on what this channel is doing, how it's going. Because Don and Lewis, you're seeing it too. I appreciate all your support as you've been watching the success these days. It's just been really nice because it's nice to like start seeing the algorithm work in your favor. I gotta be honest. After all, and welcome Stormy as she's entering the chat. I've been making videos for a long while now, and sometimes it's just a pulling teeth trying to get a video I'm proud of just to get into the YouTube algorithm. And now with some of these Britney videos, which I am passionate about, this isn't some just thing I'm just dabbling in because it's getting me views. No, I try to really focus on it, but I don't want to go crazy with it. And that's why today I was really grateful to focus on the Scarlett story and some other stuff to really sort of have expanded coverage of things while still making sure I keep reporting you guys on Britney and other important stories, Johnny Depp and so on. But watching the algorithm work, I mean, I did a video yesterday that's already crossed 100,000 views in a day. And I was like, wow, that's nice. It's nice to see. And I was proud of that video. It's nice to see that sort of start to work. And then you post another one, and I can see, I usually watch my analytics pretty closely, and they'll, chug along. But now I literally see the algorithm switch go like that. Like I'll see my videos, the Britney stuff especially, it just churns along like typical, and then I'll refresh a few minutes later, boom, 1,000 videos suddenly 1,000 views out of nowhere have suddenly clicked. So it's a really weird beast I'm trying to navigate. But I've been speaking to a lot of other experts and stuff to try to figure out how to really ride this to give you guys the best content, to embrace all the new viewers while still hopefully keeping all my old viewers happy. So I appreciate all you guys who've been watching. I'm so grateful for you. And stay tuned. Lots more exciting stuff happening here on the channel. And if you guys have feedback or you're frustrated, hit me up. I want to hear it. But just understand, like, I'm not just trying to ignore my fans and go a different angle. I'm riding a wave that of a topic I really enjoy. But Don, Lewis, Stormy, any thoughts on sort of the future of this and what you've seen me doing? Any suggestions for me?
I like it.
I mean, it's cool to see. I know, was it Tuesday? You had a huge amount of people come in for the stream live, and what was it for your watch party? No, it wasn't a watch party. It was your discussion about Britney.
Yep.
On Tuesday, and I think you got up to like 1,700 or something.
Yeah, we were almost at 2,000 people on Tuesday watching that Britney petition, which was very nice to. It's such an important topic too, but it was just nice to have a lot of new viewers and people tuning in for that. We went for like 3 hours. We had about, I think, it was like between 1,500 and 2,000 pretty much through the whole stream, which was wild.
And
I'm 100% sure. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was going to just say, like, when you see stuff like that, it's reassuring and it's really positive reinforcement that, yeah, you may be doing, like you said, that wave, but if it's something you're enjoying at the same time, that is a positive and good thing. And there's nothing wrong with that. And people will see that. And I know, like last week when we were talking about this, the people in the chat were encouraging you to like follow through, make changes as long as you're happy with it and you're, of course, getting paid. And that's a good thing. And I'm happy for you, man.
Thank you, my man. Lewis, what were you going to say?
Dude, I'm 100% sure that Britney Spears fans like movies and pop culture. So, yeah, you're doing great. And guess what? I'm not a huge Britney Spears person, but this is a great story. It's a human story that I'm curious about, man. It's real, based on reality. So, as a movie pop culture fan, I'm here happy listening or watching your Britney Spears videos, and I'm sure it's going to happen the other way around. But forget what we think. Stormy, what do you think? I want to hear from Stormy.
I love it.
I like it a lot. I like it a lot.
I like a lot. Yes,
I need that drop.
Everything.
I love that Jim Carrey drop. You got to somebody. All you guys remind me to get the I like it a lot.
No, I piggyback off the guys and just say, I love it. Hey, do your thing, man. That's all I can always think of, and just positive vibes everywhere when I say that. And good things and kudos. I'm so happy for you. Like I said last night, I was like, I'm so happy for you.
Yeah, well, I'm excited for this because, I'm just like, wow, how did that, literally, as I was slow to go with the 150, we already blew past 161, so we're going to make 200,000 in no time. So,
exactly.
Look, I don't want to ride trends that I don't believe in, so don't think, I see a lot of critics and some people frustrated, oh, yeah, well, you can't make views if it's not Britney. It's like, yeah, well, dude, people don't understand how YouTube works. When you like a topic and it works, YouTube tells you, do more videos on said topic. Like, that's literally how it works. And if you talk to any expert, or if I talk to my rep here, the creative reps, of course that's what you do. Like, of course we want views. Like, no one's going to tell you otherwise that they don't want views. And anybody who's criticizing me of, oh, look, he's getting views, they would do the same damn thing. Everybody would, because, you got to ride the algorithm of waves of when things are popular. Now, I love The Bachelor. I would do 100 videos on The Bachelor if people clicked on them. But every time I do a video on The Bachelor, I get like it's like ties into nothingness. So yeah, sometimes I still take a shot at a video I want. If I don't see it well, then I don't make another one. But when I make one and I see it people really want those types of videos, of course I'm going to go deeper into that research. So justice for Johnny Depp's another topic that I did a lot. The whole Ray Fisher thing, we jumped into that a lot. When there's a topic that works and I'm passionate about, those are going to continue to be through lines on this channel. And Free Britney has clearly become an important one because sadly, I don't think that story is going anywhere anytime soon. I just be prepared. There's more coming, but I just know I'm taking it seriously, and I want to make sure I'm always being honest and upfront with you guys, getting your feedback, and you guys know what's going on with this channel. And I want to just give everybody a nose. Like Thursday nights, I think we're going to do like a fun movie show, talking about stuff like this, the movie headlines, watching trailers, talking about some casting stuff. And just also going through classic movies, etc. Having some fun, just movie conversations is really what I want to do on these Thursday night streams. Tuesday night streams may be more of like the Britney topics and other things to sort of even it out so people can.
By the way, your super chats are not working.
I saw that chat. What does that mean?
Yeah.
No, is that working for everybody?
I don't see it up here as an option for you.
Mine has one. I can do it.
Let's me do a super chat too.
Yeah, I can do a super chat. Also, super chats aren't the way. They are not the way. It's a secret little trick. Use the link I've pinned. If you can go to Stream Elements or Cash App or PayPal, all those avoid the YouTube fee. So honestly, anytime you're tipping your creators, if they have a little Cash App, it's on the bottom. Use the Linktree link. Can somebody try another super chat, even for $1? Tell me if they're really broken. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? Also, I forgot. Sorry, every chat now it's going to be like this. Dun 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 dun. Save. Subscribers only chat. Woo 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 woo. I love it. You can't chat unless you're a subscriber, so it eliminates some of the trolls.
Nice.
There's several ways to do it. Hey, Will, can you give me one chat with all the links, and I'll swap out the pin. Just do a text real quick for me, and I'll put it out there. But a lot of other methods. Stream Elements is always a nice one because it goes straight. Dings on the screen, you'll see it. David March did one. It looks like it's working. I have to say, I like how movie ads now say only in theaters. That now means something extra special these days. Well, I agree. Free Guy, only in theaters. It does mean something special. You're totally right. Also, speaking of that
for $1.
Thank you, David, for your support. Also got to thank Muddit. What's up, Muddit? All movies are going to be animated eventually. I mean, in some way or another, you're not wrong. They're all going to be CGI recreations with actors not even having to voice it, because they'll just get all the words you've said and just make a robot version of yourself. I totally believe that. Someday in the future, you'll have a ton of automated movies. That's crazy to think, but really think about it. It's totally going to happen. The way AI and everything else. Aliyah, sorry if I said that wrong. Thank you for that $10 super chat sticker. I really appreciate you. You guys are awesome. Bunda, Lewis, are you there, Lewis?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hold on, I was just making sure. Speak up so you're on the main screen. There we go. This is Bunda sent $5 so I can do this.
Latinx.
This is Lewis's favorite word.
Latinx.
I've lost count.
Latinx.
For those Wasoko
I counted
tears.
two.
Latinx.
I counted two.
To wipe
Latinx.
away those Latinx.
Yeah.
To wipe away
Latinx.
Is he saying
Wasoko tears.
Kleenex?
Latinx.
You
I
don't know?
swear,
No,
it
is
does
he?
sound like no.
Latinx.
That's him trying. Oh my gosh.
Latinx.
That's Latinx.
Latinx. Latinx.
Don't you love that, Stormy? That's Joe Biden saying Latinx.
I
Latinx.
swear it says Kleenex. I was like,
Latinx.
where's the
That's-
show going to?
That's what we
That's
all
the
thought when we
joke.
heard it live.
As Paulie told me, he says it's for the Wasoko tears to wipe away.
my
Right, did I say it right? Lewis, is that what he
Kinda,
said?
yeah.
Anyway.
Pretty good.
Latinx.
One more just for you, Bunda. I only do that because my Latin friend Lewis really doesn't like that. None of my Latin friends.
But
like
actually, if you look at Marvel Entertainment, they tweeted that word, and they had like 500 million people bashing them. They don't care. They still gonna reuse it.
I'm with a Puerto Rican. Everyone I know a lot. I'm close to a lot of Latin people, and that Latin is you could use Latin, Latino, Latin. It already exists. Latinx.
I'm sorry you don't go to school, people, and know that Latin and is already gender neutral,
Right,
and
it's offensive.
Latino when you're speaking Spanish. Go
It's
to school
offensive to
and try to
Latinos.
learn languages, not make up stuff.
I got 3 years of Spanish, C average,
That's like me, man.
and I still know Latino or Latin.
Latino.
We're still good neutral.
You said that.
Stormy,
nice.
do you speak
Latinx.
Spanish?
See,
Okay.
Do you speak Latinx?
I do not. We had that discussion. I do not. How do I put it very nice? If you want to use that word, that is great. But
Yep.
I don't recognize that word.
don't
I'm a Latina. You can call me Latina, Latin. I take all of them, but I do not. No, don't say that word to me. It's very offensive to me.
Well, there you go.
Don't worry. The
don't say
major
it.
corporations don't care.
Don't
As they
bother-
Apparently they don't. Apparently
They
they're
don't.
just speaking for all of us.
Yep.
I was gonna say, don't bother her while she's eating, and don't use Latinx. There you go. All right, well that
Maybe
was
that's
for
just
you.
a good
So
rule
many
altogether.
rules
For everybody,
for
right?
CinemaCon. How many rules do we have so far? We have
A
one:
lot.
do not talk to Stormy when she's eating.
Hey,
number
Jody
two,
even
don't-
agreed with me.
All right, real quick, Johnny. Johnny Rangel just sent $5 over through the Cash App. The Cash App, that's where it's at. $5. Keep up the good work. Watch Demon Slayer. I know you keep trying. Don,
Yeah.
should we watch Demon Slayer? Is that a good one? Can you remind me?
Demon Slayer is actually a really popular and good show, and they just okayed for season 2, which people thought they weren't going to do.
In order to get me to watch anything anime, because that's anime, right?
Oh, yeah.
If you want anything anime to get through these eyes, it's got to go through this man. So hit up Adonatron, get him to do it. Otherwise, it's
we still got to do
Akira.
Akira. Lewis, I know what I want to do for you. Sword for Truth. No, Sword of the Stranger. That's the one I want to do for you.
Should I just watch it now, or what do you want me to do?
Negative,
right
sir.
now,
Negative.
while the show. All right, hold on. Let me trim this because we're getting out of hand. We got lots more to talk about. I'm trimming this for the replay's sake, just so you know. If you're watching live, don't go anywhere. We got lots more show to do, but I try to condense this first one to keep it there. Lots more coming, including David Ayer. Britney's naked again. We got some trailers to go through. We got a Waterworld series. We got Snyder Cut, or Snyderverse Isn't Dead. A lot more chats and comments to get through. So much to get through. Also, we got to celebrate Steph the Alternate. Finally got 1,000 subscribers. So much to cover, so don't go anywhere if you're watching live. If you watch the replay, hey, maybe hit that join button to become a member. I don't always have it there right away because of things, but I put the members only link, the full show, usually right there. So if you want to watch the rest of the show, go click the one on the left. When it's there, it'll be there at some point after processing, and you can watch it.